Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the 10th update of Edullect Academy Independent School. Today is a special update, and therefore I wanted to make sure that this update was personally given to you because there are really important information that I want to share with you, but I wanted this update to be very personal. I'm also conscious that you may want to share this video with your relatives, friends, and your network circle, because part of this update is a request for you to make a contribution to financially support the establishment of Edullect Academy Independent School. So as an introduction, particularly for those of you who may receive this video from one of your circle of friends from London Borough of Havering or Romford, my name is Shashir Ali, and I'm one of the strategic steering group members who's leading on establishing the independent school in the London Borough of Havering. The school is called Edullect Academy Independent School, and it's a school that is registered as a company limited by guarantee. It's a not-for-profit charitable organization, and there are 12 individuals working collaboratively and collectively voluntarily in order to establish the school. So part of this update is to engage with you, our supporters for the school. And this update is important because you are going to literally contribute towards establishing the school, or if your support isn't there, then there is no way that we can start or open the school. The school intends to open from September 2024. So we have to secure a premises by the end of January, a premises that probably is ready for us to move in within a few months. Now, as you know from my previous updates, we have been looking relentlessly, constantly since September to find a suitable premises, and we've been really unsuccessful. We've looked at many places, from Crow Lane to some farmlands, a number of farmlands, in fact, one not too long ago, which we explored with the planning department and with some planners, and it came out that we will not secure planning permission. And by God's grace, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped us, and we've managed to find a place in Romford, which is literally less than 10 minutes drive from town centre, very accessible for people who live in Ilford, as well as people living in Brentwood, as well as people living in as far as Rainham, and obviously the people in Romford, very, very accessible by public transport as well as by car. The property is on Melville Court, and I will give the full address on the screen. I would encourage those people who don't know Edullect Academy or haven't heard of us, please visit the Edullect Academy Independent School website. It's edulectacademy.uk, and the website link is on the screen. So please visit us to find out all the people who are involved and where we are and what our aims and objectives, mission and vision, and whatever information that you need is on the website. So that is particularly for those people who don't know about Edullect Academy. Now, the premises that we're looking at was put onto the market for £2 million, and we've managed to negotiate to 1.9 million. We've accepted, and the seller is ready to sell the property, and they've also given us the terms of purchase, so a document that we will agree, and we will then give a deposit, security deposit of £3,000. As you know from my previous communication, we have got a sponsor who said they will give the funds to buy a property for the school. But unfortunately, there's been some complications, and I'm really sorry to sort of share this with you. I'm not entirely sure if our sponsor will be willing to support us any longer. So the property we found, £1.9 million, it's an existing education centre, and in this video, I've actually gone to the location, and I'm going to take you with me, so stay with me, and I will walk through and I'll drive over there, and you can sort of explore the building with me together. And I've got some really important information to share whilst I'm over there. I think it's really important that you physically are able to see the building in order to appreciate the building itself. But I wanted to, before we go to the premises, just give you a bit of a background as to what the benefits of that particular premises is. The premises is a full building. It's an independent building. It's a detached building, purpose built. It's got 2 floors, ground floor and first floor. It is so large that we can have a full capacity nursery, which is from 3 to 4 year old, and we can have up to 50 nursery students. And as you know, the government is paying up to £6,500 for 30 hours of nursery care for parents who earn less than £100,000, which is majority of our parents possibly. And therefore you can give your child who's 3 or 4 year old to Edullect Academy Independent School Nursery, where we will give them the absolute best form of education, development, training, and the Islamic talbiyah, the upbringing, and sort of inculcate the Islamic values and culture and ethos, and and also begin to teach them about Quran, about Islam, and so on and so forth. So this is to nursery students from 3 to 4 year old, alongside teaching them the national curriculum for that for the early year foundation stage. So we can have a full nursery up to about 50 students. We can have more, but we need to keep the other capacity for the space capacity for the primary. We can have a full primary from reception all the way from year 1 to year 6. That will be on the first floor. And on the first floor, you also have a big space, which is already a canteen space, a big kitchen adjacent to that. That's separate to the classrooms. And then we can also have a big seminar room as well, which is very large when we want to do sort of group activities or seminars or assemblies or even events. When we want to do public events, parent events, and so on and so forth. So that space could be reserved for that. And we will have separate reception and office space as well. The whole building is disabled friendly, and there is a lift already within the building. And then when you go on the first floor, you have a large space there, and we can accommodate full secondary school on the top floor. On the first floor, we can have enough capacity from year 7 all the way to year 11, which is the full secondary school. And if we wanted to, we can also have a class, which would be a sixth form, which is the year 12 and year 13. So there is enough scope, enough space for us to be able to do that. And then alongside that, have some offices, have some room for other activities as well. Reflection room. There is a separate kitchen for staff members. And on both floors, you have male and female toilets on both floors. And you have a disabled toilets as well. And the whole building is fully zoned, which means that heating and lighting for efficiency gains, you can keep certain areas off and certain areas on. It's got partial air condition, and the building is in very, very good condition. At the front of the building, it's a massive car park, and we could convert one of the car parks into a playground. And when we go together and I show you the place, you'll see the potential there. And on the back of the building, there is a significant amount of space where we can also convert into a play area, a recreational area as well. In the meantime, if we aren't able to convert the front areas into a playground or play area. The building is absolutely perfect for an education establishment, and as a headquarter, as a starter base for Edullect Academy Independent School, which aims to be a blueprint for a chain of schools that we want to open up across the country. It is probably the best location, best building that you can get. So the idea that we have is that we want to buy that premises, inshallah, with your help. The complication that we have is, if you recall from my earlier communication, we had a funder who is willing to pay significant amounts of money towards purchase of the building. In fact, the idea was that person will pay the full cost of the building. But unfortunately, my brothers and sisters, I don't have much hope in our funder supporting us because he simply doesn't have the finance at the moment, and time is short. So we have to go to our fallback position, and we have two positions in that. Position one, probably the best case scenario would be if we all work together collaboratively, we give Qard Hassan as much as we can to raise £300,000, then we can give that amount as an initial contribution towards the 1.9 million and then pay the rest at the end of the year. But as I said, I've already spoken to the seller about that and they declined in the beginning. So I suspect they won't accept that. So the other option is for us to secure this building is that if we assume it's 1.9 million plus another 100,000 for the internal redevelopment or refurbishment and equipping the school, rounding it off to 2 million, if we have 200 family members, 200 individuals contributing £10,000 and giving a loan to Edullect Academy Independent School, and then what we would do is we would put £120,000 towards rent, and everyone who made a contribution of £10,000 will be able to give at the end of the year £600, which is the proportion of the £120,000 rent that we would have given to anybody else who we would have rented the property from. So what I'm requesting that we do is each of us look into our own finances and work really hard. This is the point in which we are being tested. Can we come together? Can we work together to secure the future of Edullect Academy Independent School? And will you help? And I'm hoping that you and I can come together and help each other and help the school to establish. Again, the funds that you give will purely be used to buy the building and refurbish the building, and your money that you give will give you a return at the end of the year, where everybody who gives £10,000 will get £600 back as a rental income. If you are able to give 20,000, then you'll get £1,200 back as a rental income. And I am pleased to say I shared this information with my family members, and immediately my son and daughter-in-law, who saved up money in order to pay for their Hajj next year, they said that they will give a large amount, the savings for their Hajj, in order to contribute towards buying off the property. And then my other son, who's saving for his wedding, he will give his savings, wedding savings, in order to contribute towards the purchase of the building. And my mother, who had some savings, if in case she was to pass away, that money is going to be used for her janaza. She would be giving her savings in order to contribute towards. So my family members are no different to many of your family members, and the situation is probably not that different too. So collaboratively and collectively, from my family, from one household, we're able to give 3 persons equivalent. So £30,000 we're able to give. So that's as a starting position. And I have given Sadaqah Jariyah previously to Edullect Academy, and that's outside of the 30,000. So my brothers and sisters, I am personally requesting and urging every one of you to talk to everybody in your family members, look at what savings you have. If you've got savings somewhere where you've got some bonds, or you've just got some money just lying around in your bank account which isn't doing anything, please invest that into Edullect Academy Independent School, and we will give you, per 10,000, we will give you £600 back as rental income. That's 6% of return from your investment. So it is Qard Hassan. You will get the reward. Allah will reward you for the contribution that you are making, but we'd also like to give you a contribution as well for the money that you are lending us to utilize. So you will also benefit from this as well. So each person giving £10,000 will be able to get £600 back at the end of the year. Now, the only way that can happen is if we all work together and we are able to collaboratively raise £2 million. And that's literally 200 individual people. Some of you may have much more than that. Like I said, in my household, through 3 individuals, we were able to raise 30,000 in one household. Many of your household may have similar arrangements where you have multiple income people who have income. So please have a look at your finance and funding and see whether you can make that contribution. If we can all raise £2 million, then it means that we can buy this premises and we will be able to give you a return. Now, what we've done on the website, and the link we'll put on the screen now, is you will have a link where you can sign up for Qard Hasan and inform us how much you're going to give. Now, those of you who give £10,000 or more, automatically what we'll do is we'll look at those amounts, and if we can collect 2 million, whatever contribution you've made, proportion of that from the £120,000. So the rent for the 1 year that we were going to give was £120,000. So we've budgeted and allocated that money. And what we will do is we will give you the proportion in return. But you have to get as many people on board as possible so that we can raise the £2 million. 200 people giving £10,000 each isn't a significant amount. And you're not going to give that as sadaqah jariyah. This is Qard Hasan, and you will get that money back at any time. So when we take it, ideally, we want you to keep it for a year for us to be able to give you that £600 per £10,000 investment, so 6% return as a rental income. But if you want that money back at any point in time, then you just fill in another form, which is on the website as well, which is to request a refund of Qard Hasan, and then within 24 hours we will be able to return your money. Remember, the money that we will use is only purely to buy the building and to equip the building, nothing else. The running cost, the operational cost, everything is going to come from the fee income that we're going to generate, and that's already budgeted as well. So we have a target of 126 students that we want to recruit. Actually, we should be able to recruit more than that. The nursery target will be around 40 in the first year, and from that 40 we'll be able to raise well over 200,000 because of the fact that and you won't have to pay. So if you've got a child at the age of 3 and 4, the government is highly likely that you'll be able to get 30 hours of support, which is around £6,500. So if we get £6,500 for 40 students, that's a significant amount, and that will pay not only for the cost of running the nursery, but also make a significant contribution towards paying off the rent. So financially, it's a very lucrative offer. So brothers and sisters, I am personally urging you, requesting you, please take this very seriously. This is why I'm doing this video, especially to personally request this. Please talk to everybody, talk to your family members, the extended family members, share this video with them, and also, you know, push for them to give Qard Hasan. So when you fill in that form, make that transfer. You don't have to make the transfer immediately. If, say, for example, you've got you want to make a commitment now, fill in the form, tell us how much you're going to transfer, and then maybe a week down the line you can make that transfer. But it has to be within the next 2 weeks, my brothers. So the target is for us to raise as much as we can, if at all possible, £2 million, or as close as we can within the next couple of weeks. Because after those couple of weeks, we have to sign a contract with the seller. Otherwise, it's going to go back into the market and we will lose that property. So now I'd like us to go to that property and see how that property is, and I'll sort of make another plea over there, and hopefully you, by seeing the property, that will give you a bit more sort of concrete understanding. So let's make our way to the location now, inshallah. I'm actually very excited to show you the location, because it's the one location from the hundreds of buildings that Brother Tahir, who's been actively working with me, and other brothers and sisters, we've all been looking, all of the strategic members, and this is the only place that we found that has everything that we need, for the school. So alhamdulillah, let's get started. One of the things about having a premises, it's to make sure that the premises is easily accessible, and I'm going to hopefully record the full journey, and then put up some key points of the journey and then highlight. So the time at the moment is 10:46, and we're going to see how long it takes for me to get there, and I promise you I will stay within the driving limits. It's 27th of December, so 12:47 now. We're setting off, and inshallah you'll note that it doesn't actually take very long, and I'll sort of also mention when we get to Gallows Corner there is a bit of traffic on the road. So I've now come onto Main Road, which is in Gideon Park, and goes straight to the other side of this main road is the Romford Town Centre, where Asda is, at that large roundabout, and then the other side of the opposite side of Main Road is Gallows Corner. So I'm now literally on Gallows Corner. There's a number of ways you can go to the premises. I'm taking the straight road route, and again I've been stopped by the pedestrian crossing here, so that's a bit annoying. The time is now 10:48, by the way, so it took us less than a minute to get to Gallows Corner, and then I'll show you how long it takes. The location of Melville Court is, the area is Harold Hill area, but it's in the industrial side of it. So it's very close to the A12, and not where the Harold Hill main area is. So I've come to the mini roundabout, the first mini roundabout on Gallows, on Straight Road, and I'm driving down. So it's now 10:49. In the morning it will be relatively busy around here, probably because we're going away from traffic. It probably won't be as busy as going into London, so we are literally a minute away from the premises. The area is sort of very open because there's lots of businesses around here. You don't have any sort of residents apart from if you go further out. So now I'm turning into the road, Spilsby Road, which Melville Court is off. So I'm almost at the place. Now on this road you have lots of large buildings which are offices, training centre. You have the largest London Fire Brigade training centre, and which is on my right, and it's massive, so big, next to the building that we're going to go and see. So I'm now turning in, so literally we've arrived. So we left at 10:47 and it's now 10:50, and I've literally I'm driving in. So this is the front side of the building as I'm sort of driving in, so hopefully there's no police watching me, drivers. That would be a disaster. And basically it's this whole area, this whole building and all the parking. So I'm going to park to one side. So my brothers and sisters, why did I come over here? I came over here so I can physically show you the building that we're interested in buying. This building, we've agreed the sale price of 1.9 million. It was on the market for 2 million, but the seller has agreed to sell it to us for 1.9 million. Some say it's a bit too much. From our perspective, it has everything that we want, everything that we want. Your child who will be studying here, or your grandchild who will be studying here, will have everything in one location. The primary, the nursery, the primary and secondary. And 1.9 million, if we have, we'll need around 2 million, another 100,000 just for internal redecoration, creating some petitions and furnishing. There's really very little that we need to do apart from furnishing. And if we want to make more classrooms, then we can do, just to expand more classes. But for our starting position, we really don't need to do very much. So another 100,000, so 2 million will literally be enough for us to develop the whole building, the whole area, and we can move in next day. It's also got planning permission as an education center, so everything is ready made. It's got a comms room, so internet access as well as the Wi-Fi and everything is already in place. It's got air conditioners in some parts of the building, and other parts it's got central heating, but it's just got everything that we need for an education center. It's made for education, and it's absolutely ideal for us. If each of us were able to contribute towards the purchase of this building, and we contributed to Edullect Academy Independent School, and we gave £10,000 each, and we had 200 families give £10,000 each. What we can do is we can buy this premises and we can allocate a rent for £120,000. So based on the income that we're going to generate, we're able to put aside a rent for £120,000. And then each person who gives £10,000 at the end of the year, we will be able to give £600 back to them as a rental return, my brothers. So imagine, we don't want just your money as Qard Hassan and you don't have any benefits back. What we'd like to do is give you some benefits, so you not only get the ajr, but you get the financial returns. So those of you who have money that's put aside, who have money that they are not utilizing at the moment, who might have just put it into a bank or an investment that's just literally not doing anything, or maybe you have put it somewhere for an investment return, please give it to us, give it to the school. Let us buy this building for 2 million, for 1.9 million, and another 100,000 to do the development. Let us raise that 2 million through our work. Let us work collectively, collaboratively. As a community, let us buy this building, and each of us who give £10,000 or the multiple of £10,000, we will be able to get a return. So if you give 20,000, you'll get £1,200 back at the end of the year. But we want you to engage with us. We want you to help us so that we can secure this building. We've already made an agreement with the agent, and he's literally expecting us to come back to him within a few weeks. So I'm going to, at the back of this video, I'm going to give you all the details where you can sign up and you can give Qard Hassan. You fill in a simple form and you tell us how much you want to give. If there's any multiples of 10,000 and we're able to raise 2 million, then we will all get a return back. Just to let you know who the type of people that are helping. I come from a normal family. I'm a single earner, but I have 2 sons who are working, and I have a mother who's elderly, who's retired, who we look after. So she's been saving money for her funeral. So she has £10,000 that she's going to give towards the school as Qard Hassan. And then my son, who is who's also with his wife, they've saved up money in order to go for Hajj next year, and the savings they're going to give as Qard Hassan to us so that we can utilize that. And my other son, who's saving up for his marriage, again, he's also giving the money. So between the families and myself, we have raised more than £30,000. This is in one household, and you can understand that we are so passionate. We are so grateful that Allah's given us the opportunity, and we want you to take up this opportunity. So my brothers and sisters, indeed, it doesn't matter who you are, what background you're from. We need to work collaboratively. We need to work together. If you have money that you can get from somewhere, savings, please contribute. Let us raise £2 million within the next few weeks. Let us raise £2 million. Fill in the form now. Tell us how much you can give. And if you can give more than £10,000, great. If we can raise £2 million, then you will get £600 back in return as rental return. And then at any point in time, if you want your money back, you simply fill in a form and tell us. Within 24 hours, we will respond and we will aim to give your money back. The money is going to be used purely in order to buy this building and develop it, not for anything else, my brothers and sisters. So I urge you, I request, and I'm really pleading with you to work with us, the strategic team, in order to buy this building for Edullect Academy Independent School, so that your children, your grandchildren can be educated with Islamic values and virtues that we desperately need, and to give them the high level, high quality education that they deserve. My brothers and sisters, thank you so much in advance for supporting us and helping us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.